Welcome to Commercially Speaking. I'm Timmy Barron, ADHD.
And I'm Bo Barron, CCIM.
And today we got a very, very special guest.
Yes.
It's a little bit different. Bo, why don't you go ahead and introduce who we got today?
Oh, today we have my middle son, the son of my right arm, Benjamin Mason Barron.
Yeah, baby.
Straight out of boot camp. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hola.
Yeah, when you say straight out of boot camp, like literally, how long has it been?
9 days.
9 days.
9 days.
Yeah.
Last Friday.
That's right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Yeah, it's good to see you. This is the first time I've seen you since being back. So,
It is, yeah.
so handsome.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you look a little different.
A little bit, yeah.
Today, we're going to talk a little bit about, he went into the military. Bo, of course, is in the Marines. That shouldn't be a secret to anybody else. And one thing Ben and I both have in common is we're both middle children with siblings that are very type, what type would that be? Type A?
Well, I think if you say type A, it communicates the idea. At least. Yeah.
That's right. Right. And I don't know, like when I was growing up, college was like, you gotta go to college. I didn't realize.
Just assumed.
It was just assumed, right? And today that's shifted a little bit, but you know, that we'll talk about that a little bit and talk about the why going into the military and doing that, the future, and really just to hang out with
That's
Ben,
right.
right? Before he gets shipped off to North Carolina.
That's right.
So yeah, Bo, why don't you start a little bit? Just fill everybody in about you went into the military, why, how that came about.
Sure. So I went to college. It was, like you said, it was just expected. I did well in high school. Everybody in my class, everybody who was in my classes, we all went to college.
Yeah.
It was just, I never considered that I wouldn't do it. And when I went to college, I ended up recognizing a few things, one of which was high school was kind of easy. And I didn't need to give much effort to do well. And when I got to college and I started, not going to class, turns out it was a lot harder. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of benefits to college outside of the classroom, just growing up emotionally and socially. And I definitely had benefits there. But as far as the coursework was concerned, I kind of wasted 4 years. And at the end of 4 years, I had an entire another year that I needed to do to graduate, and I had no clue what I wanted to do. I was, frankly, kind of disappointed in myself. And when I looked at a lot of the men in my life who I respected the most, there was just a lot of military in there. And, the challenge of it appealed to me. I like the idea of serving my country, but that's really not why I went in. I went in for selfish reasons in a lot of ways. Like I needed a very large boot to be stuck up my rear end. I've said it that way a lot of times, and the Marine Corps seemed to have the biggest boot. I kind of wanted to get fixed and straightened out, and I liked the challenge of it, and so yeah, I enlisted in the Marine Corps. I did end up finishing college like 7 years after I started while I was in the Marine Corps, but I went in really because I was unhappy with myself and, thought I needed some help, really.
Yeah.
And it worked. They've got a very large boot. They're good at straightening young men out and giving them a purpose and a mission and a challenge, and all those things appealed to me. And I don't miss it, but I haven't ever regretted doing it.
Yeah. And when you left, I don't know if I know this. Like, how long did you know you were going to be in the Marines?
I never really anticipated staying in. Like, I never considered it a career that I'd go in for 20 years and enlist. So it was always really in my mind, I'm going to serve my initial contract and then get out. I had no idea what I was going to do. But when I was in boot camp, I got a lot of clarity on some things, one of which was how important family was or is. And so really from boot camp on, my plan was to get out and go work with Dad, which is what I did.
Yeah.
When, I was an Arabic linguist in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And when it's time to re-enlist, they throw some money at you. They want you to stay. I did I competed. I'm such a nerd. I competed in the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps writing competition while I was in, and I think I might have won it.
I didn't know that.
I don't remember. I went to sergeant's course in Quantico about a year before I got out, and that was part of sergeant's course. And my paper was on why the Marine Corps should do more to retain linguists. Because they spend almost 2 years and $250,000 getting us to the point where we can just do the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, we have 5-year contracts because the language schools are so long. I spent 2 years getting ready to do the job, spent 3 years doing the job, and then I walked away. And I think they gave us like a $20,000 signing bonus, which sounds, to somebody in their early 20s to re-enlist, like that sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could walk out on your last day, walk back in the same shop, the same office essentially, the next day, working for a contractor or like the NSA, doing the exact same job, wearing civvy clothes, and your salary would double.
Yeah.
It was like, wait a second, I can do the same job, which is kind of cool, get paid double, wear civvy clothes, not have to PT after work, not have the extra responsibilities of leading a platoon or whatever other billets you might play within the command. And so a lot of people did that. Came back to work the next day doing the exact same job in civvies, making a lot more money. And I was like, man, this is a real waste. And if you did a cost-benefit analysis, it would make a lot of sense, I would think, and this is sort of the premise of the paper, for the Marine Corps to spend more money trying to retain who they spent so much time and resources getting to the point where they can even do the job.
Wow.
But I left and came home and jumped into the real estate business.
That's right. Yeah. And then hopped around a little bit there.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So yeah, Ben growing up, man, he's a football player and graduated high school as a right guard, offensive lineman. Would you play at your senior year?
Right guard.
No, I mean
Davis
like
County.
weight.
Oh, 245 pounds.
245. When you decided you wanted to go in the Marine Corps, what'd you weigh?
220.
No. When you decided you wanted to do it.
Oh, to like 240.
And then you had to get down to 220 just to get a weight waiver.
Yeah, just to get the MEPS.
To get in. And then 9 days ago, you graduated boot camp at what?
175.
170. That's
dang.
Being back, I've gained a couple, 5 pounds, 5 or 6 pounds.
Yeah. Introduced back to Dr. Pepper and Mexican food. And
Yeah.
No problem. They'll get it off you.
Yeah.
But,
Ben, tell me about a time you remember growing up with Bo or your family where it might be one of your favorite memories growing up.
Well, growing up, he always told me stories about boot camp. That kind of what led me into kind of starting thinking about it, because I always got the good stories about his boot camp experience, and I always wanted to experience that. So that's definitely a good memory growing up.
Yeah.
I only told you the good stories, though,
you
right?
did. Yeah. He told me a couple bad ones. Remember one where y'all were running so much, you're the one that passed out or something.
Oh, that
Something
wasn't
like
boot
that.
camp.
I don't remember. But
Yeah, we had kind of a crazy platoon sergeant when I was in language school, and it was Friday afternoon. All the platoons would go PT, but we'd PT as a platoon, and so whoever was the platoon sergeant would decide what you were going to do. And my platoon sergeant, man, he was going to run us into the dirt, and all the other platoons had like short little sessions and were on liberty. So I'm seeing everybody go shower up and get ready to go to dinner or go out or whatever, and we're still like in the middle of PT. And I thought to myself, if I go down, they'll have to stop. And we almost rotated who would go down.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that we faked it. It was that I'm going to dial my effort up to 11 and actually go down, like as a heat casualty or something like overheat myself. So that's what we did. You just sort of go berserk mode, and then you'd run out of gas and you'd go down.
Yeah.
And then you got the silver bullet, which was no fun. Like they check your core temperature.
Yeah.
You know?
Ugh.
But you were done PTing, man. So that was good.
That's good. Yeah, I remember a time, I don't know if you know this, maybe you do. Bo gave me a call. I forget how young you were, but it was probably between 5 to 10 years old. Maybe it's 5, 6, or 7. But Bo gave me a call because you were so funny. Like you were just a funny kid and different than Will, right? In that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and he called me up because he was, you know, of course, as kids can be, and how I definitely was, when you're funny trying to entertain, if there's no off switch to that, that could drive anyone crazy. And this was about a time where I think the off switch, you know, was not working. And Bo was he called me up to get my my opinion on being a kid that was like that. And I think you just wanted to know everything was going to be okay, or you know, how can I best give direction to this energy without completely dousing the fire, right? Something along there. And so I remember that, and I remember we'll throw some of these videos up of, you know, when we did a video together when I started doing YouTube videos, you know, a couple years after YouTube came out.
The Locksmith.
The Locksmith. That's right. It's a classic. All locked out, huh?
Yeah.
I got it. Oh, yeah. Looks like it smells like poop. No, don't worry. It probably is. Oh, yeah. It looks like you got you one of them. Come here, look at this. See, you could just open that up with a paper clip. You don't even need a key.
Yes, we do.
We need a key. You're gonna need a key.
Hey, I know. We can do the other bathroom.
Oh, let's just go pee in the other bathroom. It's a classic. The Smith. That's right. Yeah, where this character basically would show up to help you unlock, to figure out how to get in. And his thing was always like, well, you're going to need a key, you know, after examining it. I just thought that was so funny. And yeah, I did one with Maddie too, but she was really small. And I don't remember if we ever got Will in there to do it, but it's super funny. And I always thought, like, out of the 3 of your kids, that maybe this one might go into entertainment or something of that, you know. There's always that thought in my mind, being one that's in entertainment, that's kind of like in a family of people who aren't.
Sure.
And yeah, will you talk about that a little bit? Like tell me a time that maybe, or a conversation where you and Autumn had, talking about, you know, what are we going to do about Ben, in the sense of he's different than I am and you are, and, you know, kid number 1 or whatever. Kind of the moment you realized, you know, his strengths and his gifts are.
It's a good question. One of my favorite things about being a parent is how different my kids are, you know. And look, there's 6 of us. We're all different. Some of us are kind of similar, you know. Like Beamer and I, personality-wise, are kind of in the same ballpark.
Sure. Mange and I would be the same, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, me and Jay both tended towards the Marines, and I think he's a little bit more... even more black and white than me, you know. So I remember just the variation among the siblings. And when we started having kids... you know, Will was 3 when we had Ben, so it's not like I really had a great sense of Will's personality. But as they grew up, and when we had Maddie as well, like, they were different, and I expected that. And I remember having conversations with Autumn where, like, we just understood that it would be important for us as parents to become students of our children and help them figure out why they're on the planet, you know, or what they're suited to do, or let's help them identify their passions and their gifts. And so I don't really remember a time where I thought, like, Ben was different. I mean, I knew he'd be different than Will.
Sure, yeah.
They're completely different. In fact, they both love sports, but they love different sports. They're both my sons, and then it ends there.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I mean, they're just, Will is much more serious and almost surly, you know? Ben just is a walking smile, you know? Like, it was apparent early how different they were. And I don't really remember a time where I thought, you know, but, you know, there was a time when I remember thinking, like, you know, Ben is he's so good with people. Like any team he was on, just a great teammate.
Yeah.
I remember middle school, you made the basketball team. 8th grade, I think?
No, I didn't play.
No, you didn't play. You made the team. Like, I think you tried out in the 7th grade, and you didn't make the team, and they asked you to be the manager.
Yeah.
And you did that for a while. And then you tried out again in the 8th grade, and you basically made the last spot on the team. Now, you're not a basketball player.
Nope.
I mean, that's just not your thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we all love to play basketball.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying you can't play, but like, you're not a middle school basketball. I wouldn't either. You know, but you made the team, and I remember the coach telling me that like everybody wants him there. Like the team is better. Like the culture of the team is better with him involved. And I think you practiced like a week, and you were like, I'm out. Too much running, you know.
Yeah.
So you didn't end up doing it, but I just remember the coach telling me like, we want him on the team. He may never play, but we want him to be a part. And so I just saw whatever Ben was involved with, and he just made the experience better for everybody. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, he probably needs to do something where he's interacting with people.
Yeah.
As opposed to like my wife, on the other hand, her dream job is stick me in an office with a bunch of numbers and let me do stuff and never talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Ben's not going to be in that bucket.
Yeah.
You know?
Nope.
And then when he started playing football in high school, all of a sudden he's like the strongest guy on the team. You know? And I remember thinking, when did that happen? Because I expected his thumbs to be strong with all the like gaming he did, you know, but like all of a sudden, because I remember the first time we went and I took you to the gym and taught you how to lift.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And man, you couldn't move anything.
Nope.
You know, you might have been 13 at the time. I think you were still like one of the shorter guys in your class, probably.
I was a late bloomer.
You're the tallest Barron in about 100 years, I think.
That's right. How tall?
5'11".
5'11", yeah.
Something like that. So
that's
like,
ginormously
that's a
tall
huge
for
Barron,
for our family. Yeah.
But like you were the runt till you got to high school.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you started lifting weights, playing football, and you could just move stuff. And then all of a sudden you wanted to get a job. And so you started working at Beefs. Was that your first job?
Yeah.
Beef O'Brady's?
Beefs was my first job.
So he's a host.
First official job. Yeah.
And then he was a bus guy. And then he worked, you know, they just whatever. And then he got a job at Mod. And then from there, he went to Home Depot.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He gets to Home Depot, high school senior. And then he's moving heavy things. And I'm like, this is perfect. He's serving people that come into the store, and he's moving heavy things.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, this is really kind of ideal. You know, I don't know if Home Depot will end up being your career or whatever, but like dealing with people, like you're just naturally great at that. And then,
man, you are.
I don't know if you can still move heavy things because you're a much smaller version of where you used to be. But my guess is you got a lot of that strength still, but just to be able to do manly stuff, which got me thinking like, man, college, and you stick him in a classroom for 4 years, like you're going to die on the vine, you know? And you may not. You'd be fine. You'd get through it. But like, you know, there's this whole industry in the trades, like more of the blue-collar work, where there's huge amount of demand.
Yeah.
AI is not going to be running electrical in a house.
Right.
At least not for a while. I guess if Elon and his robots figure something out, maybe. But like plumbing, like the stuff you do with your hands, to me, just fit him better.
Yeah.
In my mind. And then he started talking about the military. You know, military was so good for me. I was all for that. And I was it was almost honoring
Yeah.
for a kid to want to do something that you did.
Yeah.
You know, and so I love that. And
How did that make you feel when? Do you remember like the moment he brought it up seriously?
well, I think the question was, how serious was he? Because you probably talked about it for a year and a half before you actually did it.
Yeah.
And it was really, I don't know, about 6 months ago, you got serious about dropping the weight so you could do it.
Yeah.
That's when I thought, man, he might actually do this. You know?
Yeah.
And I didn't want to put a ton of pressure on him, you know, because if he didn't and did something else, like, I would have been fine with that.
Right.
I wouldn't have been crushed or anything. So I didn't want to, you know, get him up every morning at 6 o'clock so we could go running, because I didn't want to run anyway. You know, I didn't want to, I wanted it to be from him, you know. But yeah, man, I was so pumped, proud, all the stuff, you know. And then tell the story about how you actually ended up going, because it was a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah. So I went down to MEPS and got cleared and everything. And then,
All right, we can't just throw around MEPS. Like,
Yeah,
you have
what
to
is MEPS?
explain what
okay.
MEPS is.
So MEPS is the place you go to make sure you're good, your medical is good, everything on your body is okay,
Like, they
everything on
screen
your
you.
body is okay.
Yeah, that's true. You had fellas
yeah.
looking at things that they probably never.
They'll check you out real good, real nice and good down there. It's in Louisville, so it's basically just like
Those Louisville
You
people.
gotta go to Louisville for that kind of treatment, right?
it's basically just a medical center, and there's all branches are there, all the liaisons, just depending on which branch you're going in. You talk to them before you go, and then you go. If you get cleared, you can enlist on that day and do your oath. And so that's what I did. I got cleared and did my oath the day of, and then I go
I'll
back.
I'll shoot you a picture of
Okay.
like when he swore in and did his oath. Like, Autumn and I were there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And that picture of when he went in, or when he swore in, because you don't leave that day.
No.
But you swear in that day and you're in. And what he looks like now, like,
Yeah.
the transformation's unbelievable.
Sure.
But so I swear in, then I go back and I talk to my liaison to get my little red pulley shirt.
Pulley.
Yeah.
Pool. Like
Pool.
like he's in the pool.
Yeah.
Pulley.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it was like, November like 13th, 14th? I think it was the 13th, something like that. And then so I go to talk to the liaison, and he goes, your ship date's December 9th, which is less than a month away. I was still 220. I was like, oh. It like crushed me. I was like, oh. Because I'm talking to all the pulleys now. I went to PT the other day, and their ship dates aren't to like June and July, like 3-4 months away.
Lots
And
of
that's what
time
you
to
were
prepare.
thinking?
That's what they had told me.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the recruiters had told me. So I was like, okay. So I went down there. He tells me my ship date's in less than a month, and I'm like, oh.
Thanks for the thumbnail image right there.
You're welcome. So then I go back and I tell my recruiters and Staff Sergeant Sandusky and them, that's my recruiter, he's trying to get my date pushed back because they want more time with me. And
Really just so they could prepare him better.
yeah.
You know,
Sure.
get him lose a little weight, a little more weight,
Yeah.
get his run time, you know, work with him some. You know?
Right.
And ended up being fine. But I go down December 9th. I still don't know if my date's getting pushed back. I don't know if I'm shipping on December 9th. Like, this is the day of. I don't know if I'm shipping or if I'm
Well, let me
staying.
add a little bit of color.
Okay.
So what we found out is, of course, the recruiters wanted him to go. They're like, look, probably January. And as parents, we're like, great, we get him for Christmas and the holidays. He's got another month.
Yeah.
I felt the Marine Corps is really good about not letting you fail. They might bounce you back to a platoon a couple weeks behind you if they need to, but like they need you to get through. So I figured if he went, he'd be fine eventually.
Yeah.
But we wanted him for the holidays and all that. And so what the recruiter said, look, there's a kid that we're not sure about his ship date's December 9th. He's bounced on us before. And so we're going to send Ben up there as a backup. 90% chance he comes home, and then he'll ship the next month in January. And so we prepared as if he wasn't coming back. But we were hoping he was coming back, and that kid didn't make weight or something, and they bounced him and took him in his place, and we saw him again 9 days ago.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
How did that feel? What were you feeling that moment where you knew you were going that day?
Well, it was kind of the same feeling I got whenever he told me the first ship date, like December 9th when he first told me that.
Same face and everything.
It was a different liaison. Yeah, same face.
Yeah.
But he kind of tells me the day before, he's like, okay, it's like a 90-10% chance you're not going. And I come in 4 or 5 a.m. that next morning. He's like, all right, it's like a 50-50. There's something wrong with one of his waivers. I'm like, okay, all right. And then I'm sitting outside in the waiting area, and he opens the door. He goes, Barron, call your parents. You're shipping today. And I'm like, oh. I was like, okay. So I call him at like 5 a.m. in the morning. I tell Mama. I call Mom and tell her I'm shipping. That sucked.
Why?
It was just, I wouldn't come back for Christmas, But in a sense, it was nice to get it done with sooner. Because if I did ship in January, I'd still be there right now. And then my MCT and schoolhouse would be pushed back and stuff, and I wouldn't be getting back should be getting back at a pretty good time of the year.
Yeah.
June-ish, July, maybe, mid-July, something like that. I don't know. But, yeah, told her to take care of Jaslyn, and I remember that. And
Jaslyn is?
My girlfriend. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
called Jaslyn right after I hung up the phone with Mom. She was also sleeping. That sucked too, but got it over with now. Now we just gotta get through a couple more things, and we're chilling.
Take Timmy through, like, you're leaving tomorrow. Like, where you're going, what happens after that. I don't think we've said it yet, but you're in the Marine Corps Reserves.
Yes.
So you're going to get through a certain amount of stuff, and then you'll come home and do your 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer.
But, yeah, so I think I shipped that day. It was the day of.
Yeah.
And then we just got there that night because they try to sleep deprive you. So I was already on, like, no sleep.
Well, let me tell you what's happened on the parental side.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I want to hear this.
Because on the 8th, Mom and Jaslyn take you to Louisville, or they meet you up there.
Yeah.
Take you to dinner, basically say their goodbyes in case you go. And then you call the next morning, 5 a.m., hey, I'm going. I'm in Chicago at Strategic Coach. So I'm not there. And Autumn is like, should I go see him off? Like, she could have driven back to Louisville and seen him off.
Right.
And I was like, don't do that. I told her not to do that. I was like, it's just time for him to kind of sink or swim. You were with him all last night. You said your goodbyes. Just, like, let that stand and let him go.
Yeah.
And so that's what she did. But, boy, she carried that guilt around for a while.
She
did.
did.
Gone. I was like, I know you feel that way.
Yeah.
But he's going to be just fine.
Right.
Like, let him go. We're not losing him for 5 years or something. Like, he's coming back. And
I mean, there's got to be a degree of her, like, it being for her to see him off as well,
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I definitely advised her for what I thought would have been best for Ben.
Yeah.
You may disagree, but I was like, just let him go. So on the 8th, he's with his mom and his girlfriend. They go to dinner. They get him up at like 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock. He's over at the MEP station at like 5 a.m. He ships that day. He gets to the island at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. I'm in Chicago at Strategic Coach. I don't sleep at all that night because he's still got his phone on him. And so I'm tracking him through Life 360 as he goes.
Yeah.
And I'm stitching leather in a hotel room, waiting for him to get there. And so, like, what happens when you get there?
Well,
like,
real quick, are you on a plane? Are you on a bus?
Well, we took a plane to South Carolina.
Okay.
And then from the airport there, we took a bus to.
And then how long of a drive how long of a ride?
It was like
on
45 minutes to an hour.
Okay. All right.
It was the same, I think the same flight we just did to go to his graduation, his boot camp graduation, Nashville or Louisville. We went Nashville to Savannah.
Yeah.
I think we went to Savannah. think we went Louisville to Savannah.
You know,
So-
45-minute ride.
So you're getting on a plane. Are you with other recruits?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There's a group of you, and you all are going.
So all
in.
the guys I went with, we all got put in the same platoon.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was nice. I already kind of knew a couple kids. So
That's nice. So you all are talking to each other and
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you get down. You get on the bus to go. Then what?
we drive there, and the kid next to me, St. Clair, we were talking on the way there. I was texting Jaslyn, and she was texting me. She was staying up with me, and his girlfriend. I remember. I don't want to say too much, but he was like, "Yeah, my girlfriend went to sleep." I was like, "On the last night you're gonna be able to talk to her for 3 months?" And he was like, "Yep." I thought that was funny. So. But me and St. Clair, we actually got pretty close. We were put in the same platoon. So, but we're driving there, and we get there, and on the way there's not a drill instructor on the bus with us, but we had to keep our heads down, like on the seat, and because there's a drill instructor at the airport that kind of told us what to do and stuff.
Yeah.
She was mean. But we get there, and the drill instructor gets on the bus and tells us to get out. And there's only we were the second bus, so there was a big group of recruits that went before us, and then we went on the second bus. There's only 10 of us on this bus.
Okay.
And so we get off. We get on the yellow footprints. I don't remember exactly what they said. I really
You
don't.
can't understand them anyway.
No,
But
not at all.
on the bus, at what point do you not have your phone? Is it
You have it all the way.
you have it all the way? You
Even
still
on
got
the-
it.
Even on the yellow footprints.
Yeah. Okay.
And then you walk through the doors. You only walk through once. That's kind of you stay. Once you go across, you're basically a Marine. You're a recruit, but you're getting E1 pay.
You're in.
You're in. You're
Right.
not. Or for me, I was getting E2 pay, but
That's rank.
yeah.
Okay.
E1 is private. E2 private first class. He had some college.
Okay.
So
yeah.
he got an automatic promotion. So that's the E1, E2. It's the rank.
Contract.
Gotcha. Okay.
Contract BSC. So I wasn't meritorious or anything. Would have been nice, but we get there, and all the other kids that went on the bus before us, they all had their heads down. I was like, that must be nice. They got a little bit of a 15-minute nap before we arrived. So we get there, and we got our Blue Money valuable bags, which is just a little small bag that we put our valuable stuff in, like wallets and stuff, watches. But I didn't bring my wallet. I didn't think I brought my credit card. I brought my social, my ID, just the main stuff I needed, because I didn't think I could bring my wallet,
Sure.
So I put all the stuff in there. I have my AirPods, charger, phone still on me. They give us this brown bag. They make us label it with our first, middle initial, and then drop all of our electronics in there, seal the bag, and before that I got the phone call home, which was just telling Mom that I had to scream that I made it to Parris Island safely.
There's a
See you
he's reading.
soon.
He's reading
Yeah,
a
it was a
thing on the
script.
wall. And
With
you
the
just-
drill instructor right there, I imagine? No.
I mean, they were at the front.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
it was like a classroom setup, really.
Yeah. But you had to scream it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So this whole time, I'm in Chicago watching his movement
Yeah.
on Life 360, and I can see on the map when he gets on the island, and when the bus stops at the yellow footprints, essentially, there's on Life 360 there was an icon marker that says yellow footprints, and I could zoom in and see the footprints.
Wow.
Well, I have a vivid memory of being on those yellow footprints
Yeah.
myself. So all these memories and emotions are coming back to me.
Yeah.
And I didn't sleep at all that night, just thinking about what he's going through. Because remember, he got up at 4 a.m., 3:30 a.m.
Right.
we'd be in the lobby at 4.
So it's now 2:30 in the morning. He's been up 23 hours.
Mm.
And he won't sleep until the next night.
Oof.
And it's all in processing, and it's a completely disorienting experience, which is by design.
Sure.
In every way. And, man, I don't remember anything from that strategic coach workshop
I
session.
bet.
I think I even left early because all I was thinking about is him on the island, and it was a really weird. I kept remembering things, and
Right.
yeah,
Did you cry?
I cried a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I was proud, you know.
Yeah.
I was just really proud, and I was excited. Had a little bit of anxiety for him, but I knew he'd be fine. I knew he could handle it.
Yeah.
And I knew it would completely suck.
Yeah.
it's
right.
They're really good at that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what?
Well, we went through all the receiving processes. They gave us we got box chow for the first. Which I'll explain what box chow is in a second, but we got box chow for the first like week we were there, which is just either a sandwich, like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, or a ham turkey sandwich. Which I couldn't eat for like the first 3 weeks I was there. Couldn't eat at all. Like I ate maybe a quarter of the sandwich. I ate the Cheez-Its that were in there. Those were really good. And the graham crackers.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I liked peanut butter until like week 5, week 6 of boot camp, because I actually tried it. And I was like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, he never ate peanut butter growing up.
Oh, okay.
Now I love peanut butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just brought them in little packets. So,
So when you say you couldn't eat, was it because of the stress, anxiety?
I guess so. Yeah,
Or
they're also
you're
giving
just
us a bunch
picky?
of shots. And I was also
Okay.
pooping everything out.
Yeah. Yeah. A whole,
Not going to go into details there, but
sure. No, I get it.
yeah.
I think everyone's been there to some degree when you change your diet or.
It was bad. Everybody was though. Like I wasn't the only one.
But
So,
those first couple days, the in processing thing, you get like you do medical, and so they're making sure you're good to go. They're giving you all kinds of shots and all this immunization stuff, and you go see the dentist. And a lot of these guys that go into the Marine Corps like may never have been to the dentist before. So I remember guys that would like get 6 teeth pulled that first week, you know.
Oof.
And they hadn't been twice a year their entire life
Right.
for cleanings and stuff, you
Yeah.
know. So they had all kinds of jacked up stuff that they had to fix, because they're going to fix all those problems so that you don't have to deal with any of it, because they're going to put you through enough.
Yeah.
Then you go see the eye doctor and you get your BCGs. And what'd
Yeah.
you think the first time you got your BCGs? And you might have to tell Timmy what BCGs are.
Yeah, you will.
my indestructible glasses.
Oh, right.
They
Yeah.
stand
Portholes are what they call
them
there.
portals. Yeah, but they stand for birth control goggles.
yeah.
Those are BCGs.
Yeah. No, I know what they look
You're
like.
not getting a second look from a lady when you got those things on.
Right.
you know?
Right.
Which actually broke my civilian glasses last night, so I laid on them and they just. Yep. So, sticking to the BCGs for now.
All right.
Good thing I have those, I guess.
That's right.
But now I got my contacts and stuff back, so
What is it? A few days, it's all the medical stuff, right? But you're still waking up and having to do push-ups and things, or is that?
not really that first week, not today, because that first week you're with the receiving drill instructors, so you're not even with your drill instructors yet.
So
they're the
you're able to
meanest-
like sleep,
Yeah.
right? They're taking care of medical stuff and it's
Like-
kind of yeah.
After, like, the first time you get to sleep, you've been up for about 48 hours. And you've filled out an enormous amount of paperwork, and you've gotten shots and done all this. Had they already shaved your head and gotten your
Yeah, they shaved
uniforms
us
and
as
all
soon
this
as we
stuff?
got there.
So they're stripping away everything about you that you identify with and all this stuff. So your body is scrambled, your mind's scrambled. From there on out, you basically, except for the crucible, you get 8 hours a night.
Yeah.
Like you sleep better than you've ever slept in your life.
Sure. Yeah, that's great.
You get plenty of food. They're not depriving you
right.
of the things you need to be able to make it through the amount of stress they're going to put you through the next day.
Yeah. Just interesting thought. It's kind of derailed, but there were no smartphones when you went in.
Mm-mm.
You weren't on your phone all the time. You weren't like now the phone can just cause no sleep, for anybody.
Yeah.
Because of that light, right? So now all of a sudden you're there with a whole bunch of other guys that are tied to their phone because that's how it is now. So there's no phone. Like that's got to be even more of an adjustment or a different kind just on top of that than when you went through. You know what I mean?
Did you think about that at all? Because I wonder if like you were just so tired by the end of the day that you didn't.
Oh,
like,
I fell right asleep.
Yeah, I mean, you might have wanted to call Jaslyn or us or something
absolutely.
like that.
Yeah.
But like, you weren't thinking about the fact that you hadn't been on Instagram.
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't care about any of that. But
Yeah,
like,
but even like those first few days before, what was that? I'm just curious. Like, was there much of an adjustment, or was it like
definitely, yeah, there was definitely an adjustment. Those first 3 weeks, we didn't really get mail, so I was kind of like just disconnected from the outside world. So I was like, it'd be really nice to get on my phone, see how the Giants did, or see what the Knicks are doing. They ended up winning the NBA Cup while I was there, so that was nice. Maddie wrote me letters with all the details about all my sports teams. So
Yeah, that was Maddie's job.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
I actually want to. In one of the letters, she actually wrote, "Here's all your sports teams. I'll write you an actual letter when you write me back."
Was she sending you like box scores and stuff?
Yeah. Which is funny. Which I thought I read in her letters, but I guess it just hadn't got there. So when the first time I got letters, that was great. I cried a little bit. Definitely cried a little bit. I was like, why am I here? That's definitely what I was thinking. You told me that too. You're like, you're gonna be thinking this, and I was absolutely thinking it. I was like, oh, I want to go
What
home.
have I done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
But once that like kind of, because I passed the ISA, which is the initial strength, or IST, which is the initial strength test, and then failed the first PFT and CFT. But once I like flipped the switch, things started getting easier. I ended up getting a first class CFT, and then right on the verge of a first class PFT. I was right there,
Which is pretty incredible.
yeah.
Because a third of the score is pull-ups.
Yeah.
And like that
Still
was
not
kind
the
of
greatest at that. But
that was kind of the question with you going in
Yeah.
is, can we at least make sure he gets the minimum amount of pull-ups so they don't bounce him into the physical conditioning platoon and elongate his time there?
Right. Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean 220 with long arms, that's a lot to pull up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Pull-ups are hard anyway.
so yeah, almost getting
Yeah.
a first class PFT is pretty incredible in that amount of time.
Yeah.
my run time was bad too. That hurt me. They put me on a thing called I forget what it was called, but they took away our prep for combat, and that made us go run, which really wasn't bad. It was just four laps around the front of the company, which really ain't all that bad. But
Explain what prep for combat is, because
Prep-
that's a term most people won't have heard.
so prep for combat's the hour at the end of the day that we get. It's basically our free time. Prep for the next day. That's why we call it prep for combat. Make our grunt rolls, which is just our shirt, shorts, and brown socks, and then clean, of course. But sometimes you had to double up, maybe triple up. I did that a lot. Kind of gross, but I had to. So, you get that free time. You can write your letters if you're done with everything. It's kind of what I try to be done with everything before I wrote letters.
Yeah.
But sometimes I was just like, okay, I'm going to write a letter before I did anything.
Yeah.
And he wanted us, our senior drill instructor wanted us to, if we failed any events, he wanted us to be in the quarterdeck, which is at the front of the squad bay, kind of like where you can work out and stuff, and where you get IT the most, which is
Special attention.
Yeah, special
from the
attention.
drill instructors.
Yeah.
We'll keep it at that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, so yeah.
A lot of hugs and cuddles, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Very compassionate fellas, those drill instructors. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Legendary drill instructors.
Yeah. I don't know how much you two have talked since being back about what was going on with Bo and your dad and your mom, as far as like their state of mind while you were there, because beyond Bo, you knew he was going to be fine.
Yep.
You weren't worried that it wasn't going to work out or he was in danger or,
No.
you had all faith and confidence that he was going to do it. He was going to do it well. He's going to get through. That aside, what were you surprised about with how you were feeling?
Well, you were on my mind constantly, which I'm generally not that preoccupied with something for that long. So that surprised me a little bit. Like I was just thinking about you all the time. Like I wonder what he's doing right now. You know, we got that schedule for the drill instructors. So I knew what week you were in and what you were doing, and I'd look at the schedule. And
They sent you on a schedule?
it's in the office at the recruiters.
Oh yeah,
Kind of the high level schedule.
It's a little off.
Yeah,
I think, but
close enough, and we don't know the difference, so it works just fine for us, you know. And so I was like, getting a haircut today, you know, the blah blah blah, you know. And I remember being the scribe for my platoon, so I would write out the schedule for the next day for the drill instructors every night. So everybody else prepping for combat, I'm writing out the schedule for the drill instructors for the next day, which was annoying. So I remember kind of all that, but I lost a lot of emotional control while you were in boot camp. It was really weird. Like I'd be at one of Maddie's games and the national anthem would start playing and I'd start crying. I'd be like, what's going on? And Pawpaw would do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like all this pride I had with what you were doing would just ooze out through my eyeballs. It's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah.
And I even had like the guys in my Sunday school class, I say guys, some of the people in my Sunday school class actually told me that like, hey, we kind of like this version of you. Like I'd talk about you a lot and what was going on and kind of how I was feeling about it in class. And they were like, this, I don't know, I don't think they called it more sensitive or whatever.
Vulnerable,
like,
maybe?
Maybe vulnerable or just more emotional. I was definitely more emotional. They're like, man, it's making you way more relatable and a better teacher. And I remember at some point while you were gone thinking, all right, I have certainly lost some emotional control, and I kind of like it. Like I liked feeling those emotions, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, your mom and I talked about you all the time, you know.
What about it did you like? What did you like about it? The
feeling?
Yeah, feeling. The not having so much emotional control, as you're calling it.
That's a great question, and I don't know that I've thought about what about it I liked. Generally I process things by thinking through them, not feeling them. And I would tell you that I value thought more than feelings, you know. But when I was there, it's like I just enjoyed the feels.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to put words to it beyond that. It was definitely different. And people, it was strange to me that people picked up on it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just that I was crying all the time. I was some for sure, but like, I felt proud, felt a little bit anxious, you know. We got a letter from him at one point that said, he mentioned he failed the first PFT run thing, and he had a couple weeks to do it, I think, but he had to cut 3 minutes off his 3 mile run time. That's a lot.
Yeah. And
I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, physically, I know he can do it, but that's a lot. And what's the longest you ever ran before you went to boot camp?
A mile.
Like, yeah, not even a mile and a half.
No.
Yeah. So it's not like we were all kind of thinking he had more time, you know?
Sure.
And if he would have shipped in January, I'm thinking, man, we'll have him running 3 miles by then. You know? But then all of a sudden he's gone. And then all of a sudden he doesn't make his time. And if he doesn't make, he got another shot at it. If he doesn't make that time, he's getting cycled back, or what they'd call dropped to the next platoon back.
Yeah.
Which means graduation's pushed back 3 weeks. Like he'd still be there right now, you know, has to learn new people, new drill instructors, make new friends. Like all that stuff has a layer of suck that you don't need any more suck when you're on the island. So I was kind of anxious about that. And we were waiting for the letter that said how he did. So we get this letter and he's like, I passed. got 3.5 minutes, whatever it was. He made it, and he's like, and I would have done it a lot faster, but I had to stop 3 times and squeeze my butt cheeks because I was turtle heading.
I forgot about that.
And so I remember getting that letter, and I had like an emotional explosion. It was like a cocktail bomb inside. Because like, one, I was proud because he did it. And then like every word in that letter dripped Ben.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Talking
right.
about poop and turtle heading and
That's
squeezing
right.
his butt cheeks. And I'm like,
Classic.
my boy is still there. You know,
Yeah.
like Marine Corps can't strip the Ben out of Ben. Like,
That's right.
You know,
That's
He's
right.
going to come back a different guy. But like, it was real clear to me at that point that Ben is still there. Because I had just a smidgen of concern that he'd go through this process and come out the other side and not be the walking smile
Right.
that we're used to. And he wouldn't be this awesome extra flavor of life
Yeah.
that we get because he's in our life, you know.
Right.
I didn't want that getting tuned out of him, you
Right.
know? And when I got that letter, I was like, okay, no issue there.
Yeah. Classic Ben language.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of stress lifted off my shoulders once I passed that.
Yeah. So what's next as far as I just learned right now because you said it. The plan is going into the reserves,
Yeah.
right? So what does that look like? You're going off, then you're coming back. Where are you going off to? And then
Well, tomorrow I'll go off to Camp Geiger, North Carolina for MCT, which is Marine Combat Training. That's 30 days of that, and then right after that, I go straight from there to my schoolhouse. Unless it's backed up, then I'll get put in a holding, which would suck.
yeah,
But there's like a small chance I could get RA coming back if there is which is recruiter's assistance.
okay,
If my schoolhouse is backed up, then I could come home for 14 days instead of being put in a holding platoon,
yeah,
which would be nice.
yeah,
Because I don't want to get put in a holding platoon. I'd much rather come home and be with my people than do that and just be doing working parties and stuff.
right,
And he would essentially assist the recruiters
Yeah.
while he was here in town.
yeah,
But the idea of MCT or Marine Combat Training is every Marine's a rifleman. And so regardless of what your job is in the Marine Corps, you're trained as a rifleman or an infantry.
yeah, okay,
So he's going to go do the 30-day version of infantry school. If his job was infantry, which it's not, he'd do like a longer version of the School of Infantry. The whole idea here is if he were ever to get attached to an infantry platoon, he'd know enough not to get him killed,
yeah,
right? So he's going to learn how to be an infantry guy, and then he'll go to his school and which tell him about that.
So my school should be around 9 weeks, but I've heard many different things, and that'll be just I think it'll be just like a 9 to 5. Do my last class at whatever time that'll be, and I can just go back to it'll be kind of like college. I'll go back to a dorm. I'll have a roommate.
yeah,
I can bring my PlayStation, I think. So I can just do whatever I want until the next day, which would be nice. Be nice to kind of not have somebody up your butt 24/7.
that's right. A little bit of independence,
Yeah,
over your
wake up-
free time.
Wake up on my own, but not where I'm missing class or anything,
Yeah,
Yeah,
But-
don't do that.
No, that'd be bad.
That'd be bad.
That'd
Yeah.
be very bad. But at boot camp, they'd wake you up at 4 a.m. every day they'd flip the lights on and they'd scream, lights, lights, lights. That sucked.
oh yeah,
Did they do that for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sucked.
yeah,
That was awful. I hated that. And then we have to get up out of bed real fast, get on the black line, which is just you get the racks, and then you got the just straight black line across the whole squad bed. We had to get our heels to the very edge of that.
yeah. That's
That's,
all Forrest Gump.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot like that.
Yeah, or Full Metal Jacket.
Just like that.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go.
Mhm.
that's right. Yeah,
We actually had a guy in our platoon. His name was Piles.
Piles.
Piles. It's not Powell, but it's Piles. Private Piles. So that's
Private Pals.
yeah. We made a lot of Full Metal Jacket jokes to him.
Yeah. Yeah. And so 9 weeks you'll be, or it seems like maybe it'll be 9 weeks. You'll be in North Carolina doing this.
Well, I'll be
Or is this
four
after?
4 weeks in North Carolina and then my schoolhouse in Missouri. So then I'll go to Missouri for another 9 weeks. I think 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Thousands of people are going to hear this, and you hadn't told them, any of them, what you're actually going to do in the Marine Corps.
Right.
Like, what's your job going to be?
Military police. So.
Military police. You're going to police academy, essentially.
Yeah, I'll get devil sprayed in my eyes. That's what they call OC spray, but there's an MP there that said it feels like the devil's pissing in your eyes.
Oh.
And then I should get tased too.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. Learn about the military law and stuff, but I thought it was a pretty cool job. And my reservist base will be in Lexington. That was kind of why I picked MP, because it was right there.
Right.
When I'm home. So
Yeah.
one of my buddies, he's a motor T operator. His base is like 5 hours away, which sucks.
Yeah.
But I mean, he gets paid to drive there, but like still, I'd much rather drive 2 hours than 5. You know.
Jay.
Well, I was just going to say that one of our most loyal listeners is your Uncle Jay, who did exactly what you're about to do.
Yeah.
Like, he went to Fort Leonard Wood. He was an MP in the reserves. He was in Lexington. That was his unit before he got the Naval ROTC scholarship. And
Explain to me what a military police, like what is it that they do? And by doing this, whenever it's time to, decide to become a civilian again, is that a pretty easy transition into, or is there a possibility to just become a police officer?
I mean, I think I'd still have to go to police academy because it's a little different.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, I'm learning military law, not civilian law. So it'll be a little different, but it's kind of like the same day to day as, just depends. Like, I could be driving around in a squad car. Like, they had that on, when we did our MLS talks, that's kind of what they said. You could be driving around in a squad car, go back, do a lot of paperwork, stand guard at the front gate, with a rifle or probably a rifle with all the stuff that's going on with Iran right now. So
Yeah, so you're basically policing the
military.
Yeah.
The military. Yeah. Gotcha.
So have you seen Reacher?
Mm-mm.
So there's a
Yeah,
show
watch Reacher.
on, is it Netflix?
It's HBO Max. I think it's on Max.
Well, Alan Richardson is Jack Reacher. And Reacher is a fictional character of, I forget
John
the
Grisham?
author.
No.
Not him. I've read all the books.
Okay.
There's 25 plus books.
Yeah.
And it's this dude who's military police, and he goes, he's actually retired or former military police.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, I mean, like, in the books.
The character.
Oh,
He's not
gotcha.
a current military police.
Gotcha.
He was military police. Anyway, they made a couple movies that Tom Cruise was Jack Reacher, which is hysterical because Jack Reacher in the book is 6'5", 255, pure muscle. And then Tom Cruise thought he'd play him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now they've made three
series.
seasons of it. Really, really good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they're military police, and they police. So, like, if there's a crime committed,
That's
if
right.
somebody goes AWOL, provide security on base.
Gotcha.
That kind of stuff.
That's right.
Yep.
So that was my other question too, because you mentioned Iran and the stuff that's going on, right? That kind of just, you go right. It was like, man, when Jay went into the military,
that was
boot
during
camp,
the insurgency.
that was right after 9/11 it happened, and he was already planning on going and stuff, right? So that happened. So everything that was happening there was like, and then Jay ended up getting deployed, and he was a pilot, and then of course, you were in the Marines at the time, but your job dictated that you were in a building here in America, listening to what was going on, essentially.
Yeah.
Right. And so
we had this meme. We didn't call them memes back then, but it was a skull with headphones on like yours.
yeah.
And it said, "Chicks dig us because we listen."
Yeah.
But that was our job. We listened.
Right.
We listened to the bad guys. Yeah.
And so when it comes to military police, is that, what are the what are the chances that you would get pulled to go to Iran if there needed to be combat or things of that nature? Like, is that
I mean, if they need me, they'll send me,
right?
It's not really up to me, I guess. But as a reservist, yeah, they'll pick the active duty before me, I guess. But like if they name me, they put me on active duty orders and send me, I guess.
Yeah. And then would the job remain military police just somewhere else or okay.
Yeah, so he might be providing security for a
base out in
I'd be an asset for a infantry unit. So I'd train with infantry, which that's what they told me during MLS talks at least. I'd train with the infantry unit, do all the stuff that they do, and then when they go out on their field ops, I'd just stay back.
Yeah.
On base,
or you could provide convoy security or that kind of thing. But the thing with Iran, just to kind of answer your question,
sure,
there's only 4 countries on the planet that have whatever the word is, militaries, or in other words, they can leave their country and provide force elsewhere.
Sure.
Like us, Great Britain, France, and China. That's it. Like Russia really doesn't even make the list anymore. So Iran's military forces are basically what's the term they use? Like palace guard. Like their military exists to keep their despot leader in power.
Yeah.
So what we've just done over there is we take out all their air defenses first, which means we can fly over with impunity. And then we take out their command and control. So they're not able to communicate with all their little missile launcher guys scattered all over the country. And then we start hunting down the guys with missiles. We might not try to blow up the missiles. We might just blow up the fuel depot so that they don't have the gas to raise the missile up and fire the thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to so there's a very, very good chance that there are never any ground forces that we send into Iran.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised.
Right.
And so there's a very small chance, in my opinion, which is very limited information-wise.
Yeah.
I don't have any level of stress that Ben would have to go to Iran or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
I just don't necessarily see it happening. Now, there could be like third-order consequences, like what we do in Iraq leads to this, leads to this, leads to this.
Iran.
And, Iran.
Uh-huh.
And that
right.
is something, but
yeah,
you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
the thing is, like, Ben decided to write the government a blank check. And if they sign it, he cashes it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll go where you send me kind of thing, which is a pretty unbelievable thing for any teenager to do. It's one of the things that's one of the ideas that just sort of welled up all this pride in me.
Of course.
What was Poppy's T-shirt that he was wearing last night? We ate at his my in-laws' house. His grandparents.
My grandson has your back, something like that.
Well, that's what it said on the back. What did it say on the front?
I'm not sure. Healy.
Something about America, you can rest easy tonight. And on the back it said, my grandson's got your back, kind of thing. You know, it's that idea.
Right.
You know. And I saw that shirt. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
But, I'm not that concerned about Iran putting my son in harm's way at this point.
Right.
But it's possible, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's part of the deal.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But
no, I know. I mean, you'd be
the chances are low to answer your question.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was just curious about that as the news come in on the escalation, all of a sudden, boom, we're at war with Iran. Kind of out of the blue, it seems, unless you're always looking at it or whatever. So I was curious about, like, when, as you're seeing that come in, what, you and Autumn are feeling, having been now, probably at the time in boot camp.
Yeah.
And then leaving. And what about you? What, you got any feelings on that?
When we first heard it, our senior drill instructor, he's an infantryman, so he came in, he was like telling us kind of what was going on. He was like all excited and stuff. He was like, he was real excited. So,
well, he's bred to blow things up.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so
he had
he
a-
saw a scenario where he might get to blow things up. There's that kind of excitement. You know?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, if you're in the military, that's what you choose is your career. You know, it's like, all right, things are happening.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
in
almost,
a way.
It's almost more like if you're not at war, you're training for war. And so you're doing all this training all the time. And so it's almost like studying for a test.
Mm-hmm.
You mean finally I'm going to get to take the test? Give me the test.
Right.
It's that kind of feeling, I think.
Yeah. I found it so interesting, and maybe it's just because I was so ignorant before, you know, like around 2000 or after 9/11 and everything that was going on there. I didn't know what was happening or going on. But what it seems like now is just the way we're fighting this war, or the way we're fighting is just so different. Like, we went in and we got the guy, you know?
It's a completely different doctrine.
It's like,
It used to be bad guy in another country does something bad, all our 19-year-olds are going to go kill each other.
right.
Now, you screw around and do stupid, we're going to take you out.
Right.
It's a huge shift,
Yeah.
and it's a message. You know, so like us going in and taking the Venezuelan guy
Yeah.
and taking the Iran guy out
Yeah.
is a message to the rest of the world.
We,
Don't misbehave too bad,
that's right.
or we're not going to send our 19-year-olds to kill your 19-year-olds. We're going to come get you,
Right.
you know? And
Yeah.
it's like, it's definitely different
Yeah.
and
It's
interesting.
it's incredible.
I'm interested to see how it plays out. And, oh, by the way, we can do it,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah. Just those you wouldn't call them planes, but just the look of the flying.
The drones.
Not even the drone, like the thing. Maybe it is a drone, but like it looks like a Batman.
Or the B-2
Might
bomber.
be. Yeah.
Like the stealth bomber.
Yeah.
The B-2.
It's just like
they
they,
B1 and B2.
you know, it's just it looks so different than you know what Jay was flying.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
You know, nothing against what you were flying, Jay. It's just, you know, a helicopter.
The super stallion.
That's right. I've got no room to speak. I did not serve our country in this way. I'll go entertain the troops maybe at some point.
But you know what was interesting about, one of the things that surprised me about Ben overall is I remember being at his high school graduation. Now, different than when we were in high school, kids these days, at least in this area of the country, and my guess is there's programs like this all over the country, they have an opportunity to do dual credit work where they can take college classes and get high school credit for it.
Yeah.
And so Will, my oldest son, graduated high school with a year's worth of college done. And I was like, man. And, Maddie started taking college classes, my youngest daughter, my only daughter, her freshman year of high school. And she's very driven, focused, academic.
Yeah.
Like I fully expected her to graduate next year with an associate's degree. She'll have her associate's degree done.
Right.
Well, I'm at Ben's graduation, and I knew he took some of this college stuff, but I don't. Well, he graduates high school, and they announced that he graduated the community college with an associate's degree at the same time. I had no idea. My middle son, who doesn't need to go to college, he needs to do something with people and with heavy stuff.
Has an associate's.
Like the guy I see like owning a multi-million-dollar plumbing company or
Sure,
something like
yeah.
that. Like that, I don't know if plumbing's your thing or whatever,
yeah.
but like I could see him doing that,
Yeah.
Everybody would love him. He creates a company that does great work, hard work, satisfying work that makes a difference. Like, this is what I have in my head. And all of a sudden, he graduates high school and he's got an associate's degree.
Yeah, that's
And I
crazy.
had no idea.
Yeah.
And so
yeah.
he walks into the Marine Corps as an E2 because of his college instead
Yeah.
of an E1, and he's a PFC instead of a private.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's
how did I not? I knew he was taking some college, but I didn't know he'd done that much.
Right, right.
Where actually, dude's got a degree.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I had no idea.
That's more than I got. That's more than I got. I got some certificates, for comedy and experience and stuff. These last 9 days since you've been back, are you waking up super early because your body's like it? Or are you sleeping in as long as you can?
The first couple of days I woke up a little early.
Yeah.
But as the days going by, I've been sleeping a little longer. It's been pretty
Yeah,
nice.
Pretty nice.
Yeah. I was like,
Enjoying it while I can because
yeah.
go right back to it. So
Right.
Now I do wonder, and I think we've talked about this a little bit. I've heard you mention something, but like you go to MCT, then you'll go to the schoolhouse, become an MP, and then you come home and you'll start your reserve stuff. Where one week in a month you'll go to Lexington, serve. You'll do 2 weeks during the summer, but you were a supervisor at Home Depot when you went to. So is your plan to go back?
go right back to Home Depot, yeah.
Tell Timmy what Home Depot does with folks that go into the military.
Oh, they keep my spot. And
Well, by law, they have to keep your spot.
Yeah.
Keep your spot means
When you come back,
he
you can-
doesn't get his old job back. He gets a comparable job.
Yeah. Okay.
So he might not be the supervisor of millwork.
millwork and paint is what I
Millwork and
was.
paint. My bad.
Yeah.
Forgot about the paint. Maybe it's a different department or whatever, but he comes back in at that level.
Yeah.
Okay. So by law, that's what companies have to do. But Home Depot goes a step further.
They do, yeah. So if I were to make more money at Home Depot than I did while I was doing all my training and stuff, they'll pay that difference. So, something like that.
So
There's something cool like that.
So like they figure out what you would have made.
If you were working there at the time you were, yeah.
And then you submit your paperwork on what you did make,
Yep.
and they make you whole.
Wow.
That is not required by law.
Right.
That is Home Depot being awesome.
Yeah, yeah. That
You
is
know?
incredible.
And as a
Yeah.
guy who grew up a Lowe's fan, I have been converted.
Hey man, I love Home Depot. That's where I go.
I'm telling you,
Not-
I am a Home Depot guy. At
Not
this
only
point.
not only that, but your twin, my 4-year-old daughter Birdie,
Oh, no kidding.
she loves Home Depot. She loves it. She's when we pass it, she wants to go to Home Depot. She loves anytime I got to go somewhere. I rarely go to Lowe's. I had to go to Lowe's because I couldn't find the orchid food at Home Depot. But I always go to Home Depot. And last time I was there, your picture was, I went to the bathroom. I saw your picture up there. This was a few weeks before you were out.
Yeah, it's still, I saw
Employee
it.
of the month.
there?
or whatever. Yeah, it's still there.
Oh, nice.
Still there.
I was
Or
there
as
the
of a
other day,
couple
but I
weeks
forgot
ago.
to look. So
Yeah.
I forgot I was
No,
there.
it's-
They need a new picture.
I
They
know.
got the old version of me.
Yeah, you look like you're 12 compared to now,
The baby
especially.
face, yeah.
yeah. I love it. I love it. And I tell you what, there was a time it was me. It wasn't that long before you left, but it was me, Tara, and the girls were at Home Depot, and he was working, and he came and just kind of walked around with us a bit, and man, everybody loves you, and I can see why.
Yeah, they're great people over there at
Yeah.
Home Depot. Love all those people.
Yeah, that's great. I love it. I love it. Sweet. There's so much more we can talk about, but I think this is really good going through. I think the last thing would be like, would you have any advice for parents out there that either regarding the military, because you've gone through it and now you've just experienced it with having one of your kids go through, hearing about your experience, I think is really beneficial for people who might not have gone through that experience before. Is there any advice you give to, I just, I don't know how prevalent it is still that college should be so important and you got to go and got to do it.
Yes, I have some advice.
Great. Because I think the only other thing I want to add is seeing this and the way you have talked about it and him going in, making sure you wanted it to be his choice and not putting a ton of pressure on it. That was different for me. There was a lot of pressure, or at least a talk and some energy. And then very grateful for mom and dad.
As far as college is concerned, you mean?
As far as serving in the military.
Oh.
Right? As far as serving in the military. Like they believe that it was every man's duty to do it. And and I considered it only because of that. And then at some point, Brian and Cindy we're a bug in their ear. Thankfully, just kind of helping them see that I'm an artist, and to pursue anyway. But yes, regarding college or military or whatever.
So I don't think the military is for everybody. I think it would be good for anybody. The biggest thing I got out of Marine Corps boot camp in specifically, and out of my military experience in general, but it really happened in boot camp. Never been stretched like that before. I've never been pushed like that before. I discovered new levels of tired and pain. And when I mean pain, I mean not like injury pain, but like the mental fatigue and all that stuff. And it answers the question that most men have, whether you've thought about it or not. Most men, I believe, have this question: is when everything's on the line, do I have what it takes?
Yeah.
And I was able to answer that question for myself in boot camp. Now, I'm not suggesting for a second that you put me in any scenario and I'm going to come through. That's not what I mean. I mean, I've lived with the confidence in believing that, and when things are on the line, like
you can handle it.
I'm going to be able to handle it. Whether that's true or not, I believe that, I'll never be as tired as I was. I'll never be as cold as I was. I'll never be as wet and miserable as I was. I'll never be as muddy as I was. You can put me in any situation that I've been in since I got out of the military, and it has not been as hard as something I've already done. And that is something that is so good and powerful for a male. To be able to walk through this life after that and just know that they have what it takes. And at the same time, to be drilled into your head things like honor, courage, commitment, things that actually matter. So we're not just creating all this, what was the buzzword, toxic masculinity.
Right.
I'm not talking about that garbage, which is basically anyway, we don't need to talk about that. These are men that are men, or women who are women. Like we got Marine Corps women for sure. But from my experience as a man and having a son go through, like Ben never has to wonder again in his life if he has what it takes.
Yeah.
Because he does.
Right.
Now, as his dad, I knew that already.
Yeah.
And it's true of my other son, Will, as well.
Right.
But like Ben's answered that for himself in a way that most people don't get to experience.
Yeah,
and it'll literally benefit you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And I think we've mentioned this on episodes before, but like, it's a lie that everybody should go to college.
Yeah.
That expectation we have for our kids is just jacked up. Now, there are definitely career paths that need college. All right. So I'm not suggesting it's a bad thing either, though I think in a lot of respects, college is a bad thing.
Yeah.
But if your kids don't want to go to college or don't just make them go. I mean, there's so many other better options out there. If they're not on a path that needs a professional degree or they want to be a teacher, you get to go to college.
Yeah.
Great, do that.
Yeah.
My daughter right now is bouncing around from being a sports therapist to a elementary school teacher to now she wants to go into some kind of law enforcement and study criminology, or I forget what it's called, and
forensics.
I mentioned Marines to her.
Yeah, I mean, she'd she could certainly. She's
sky's the limit for that. Yeah,
but like almost all of those career paths she's thinking about need a college degree to do what she wants to do.
Yeah.
great. She needs to go to college. I got no problem with that.
Right.
You know, but man, it is not a failure for a young person to not go to college. It absolutely isn't. And in fact, for a lot of kids, it's the wrong choice.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a big lie.
Yeah. And I do got to say, for the record too, Mom and Dad, after that talk with Brian and Cindy, which I didn't realize at the time, but there was a shift, and they did recognize where my talents were and what I loved to do and what I was good at. And like Mom took me to so many auditions, you know, for college. And
Oh yeah.
and she took me all around to the places I was interested. She pushed me to go to Governor's School for the Arts, which I had no clue what that was or that even existed. And that really changed my life in a big way.
Oh yeah.
You know, those 3 weeks, it wasn't boot camp, you know, but it was, those 3 weeks, a lot of things click for me as an actor, you know, and
they've been your biggest fans.
Yep.
Your entire career. We were just watching a video before we started, 2017. You did Smokey and the Bandit or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
And we all went up there and surprised you.
That's right.
There's a video, you know. And the cool thing was you were wearing like
I was wearing my Snapchat glasses.
Yeah. And so you were able to edit that video that we took, surprising you with the video you were taking, which was like a point of view from you
That's
at
right.
the same time. And it's this cool, but you know, Mom and Dad, they orchestrate all that stuff.
That's right. And that meant so much. And they've really been, we have incredible parents. I'm so thankful for it. Yeah. And I remember Dad at some point, you know, it was probably within the last 5 years. I forget what I called him up about or whatever, but what I do remember from that conversation was like, I've never had to worry about you. I think I was struggling with something or trying to make something happen or whatever. And he flat out told me like, you know, I've never worried about you. I know that whatever it is that you do, you're going to do great at it. I don't know. It just meant so much to me. I don't know if
He and I have had numerous conversations about you. And really in context of like all our siblings are workers.
Right.
Like, I don't sweat or stress about any of us.
Right.
You know, and I don't think Mom and Dad do either. Because we all work.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And you may be harder than any of us, just like on the hustle scale, you know? And so he's told me the same thing about you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, it meant so much. It meant so much. Because a lot of my, I don't even know if you call it a career, but the path I've chosen to take.
Not a straight path.
It's not a straight path. It's not a consistent path as far as income. You got to figure out a way to make money. When it's not there, when you're not booked in between things, you got to figure out a way. And then you get married and have kids, and things change and things have shifted, you know, since then. But, you know, I just remember being in Chicago and like, I forget what it was, but his whole thing was just like, oh, you can do this, you know, and I've never doubted that in my life. And just hearing that out of his mouth, it was, it was
a gift.
It was a gift, and it just pushed me forward. You know, whatever doubt I was dealing with at the time was gone. It was gone. Because I always did have in my head that, you know, they're so proud of Jay, right? They got their helicopter toys up there, and you know, and of course, right?
Sure,
of course, and they've got my poster up. They went and saw me. I know they're so proud of me, but it's different. It felt different. It felt like they were big fans of me. They were really proud of Jay, and that was just my own. You know, that had nothing to do with them, but you know, it just always sat with me because
to them it's not different.
It's not different.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not different. And but I think I lived with, I didn't go into the military, and I dropped out of college and, you know, took other classes, which helped with what I did. And I just lived with that internally. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't them. They weren't thinking that stuff, but it was, I just remember that. I love you, Mom and Dad, a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. I feel so lucky. All right, Ben. Thanks for doing this with us.
Of
Yeah,
course.
man.
Yeah, this was fun.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And
The first kid on the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Now you got to get the other two. They're going to be jealous.
Yeah, they might.
Oh, they're
Who knows?
welcome.
Yeah.
I don't think Maddie would want to. Do you?
No. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, kid, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah. Come in. But yeah, I mean, I got you on camera doing some sketches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were young,
Yeah.
right? Didn't get Will, so Will might be sitting here going,
Well, Will and I did a podcast episode for one of his classes.
That's right.
I think you even edited it.
yeah. I don't know if I set it up for y'all and I
Okay.
I don't think I edited it. He might have done that. But yeah,
Something
we
for-
should get Will on here.
Race and professional sports or
Yeah,
something.
some-
It was,
yeah,
But he
yes.
and I sat in here and did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I come in here with my girls often. And
Oh, yeah.
We do little podcasts.
Sometimes there's
internally.
like a little sticky sucker mark right here.
That's
or
right.
Something like that. I always kind of see when they're. I was like,
That's right. Yeah.
cherry.
All right. And that's just something for us to be able to watch, going up.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening to Commercially Speaking. Let us know what you think in the comments. If you got somebody that's got some kids, they're, either going to decide what they're going to do with their rest of the life, whether it's be college, military, whatever it may be, this might be a great episode to share and send to them. And
thanks for hanging out with us. This episode's different, obviously, and it's more of an episode for us. So if you've listened this far, we just appreciate you hanging out with us today. And like Timmy said, like there are kids trying to figure out what they need to do. And this might be the kind of episode that just helps them think through that, whether it's
right.
military or anything else. So
that's right.
if you wanna do something nice for us, you can share this episode with them.
Yeah. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, leave us a review. We love it all. You can follow us on social media at Commercially Speaking. And if you need a virtual executive assistant,
And you do.
you can go to superpowershq.com/commercially speaking. Check it out. See how it changes your life. Or see what all the hype is about. It's incredible.
Awesome.
Oh, it's awesome. superpowershq.com/commercially speaking. And we've got a newsletter, subscribe.wgbarron.com. Love you, bro.
Love you, brother.
Love you, Ben.
Love you guys.
Love you, kid.
Yeah. Bye, Alice.
Bye, Alice. Say bye to Alice.
Bye, Alice.
All right.